What's up guys, I'm Locked. So today we're going to be talking about legendaries, and specifically we're going to be tackling a lot of questions and a lot of the confusion that's kind of surrounding this new and very interesting system. Now, whether this is talking about crafting and how to get all the items for the base item together, or just explaining how the ranking system works, and most importantly just simple things, whether it's getting to Torghast or unlocking the Runecarver. These are things we're going to be discussing today and clearing up for you so that when you finally get to the point where you're crafting legendaries and looking into like memories and different things like that, you guys are able to do so, streamline that process, and get there as quickly as possible. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so your legendary journey begins at level 60, and with that being said, if you guys are still leveling, still enjoying each zone, and kind of progressing at your own pace, take your time with it. Legendaries aren't going anywhere, but like I said, you're gonna need to be at max level to begin crafting and equipping these legendary items. Starting with the campaign at max level, you're gonna need to progress to the point where you get to Torghast itself, and this is the new endless dungeon they've basically implemented in Shadowlands, and you want to progress to a certain point where you meet the Runecarver, and he's going to send you on this journey where you need to collect a certain amount of soul ash, and the soul ash is pretty much the currency you get from progressing through Torghast. Now, the soul ash can be used later on for other things, whether it's the actual crafting of the legendary, but until you reach this 1,200, I believe, soul ash requirement, you're not going to be able to use the Runecarver. Now, once you lock this and stuff like that, you're ready to go, but you're going to need to get the crafting items together, and that's pretty much what we're going to discuss next, the crafting process. Now, the crafting process is a two-part process, and it starts with the base item, which is something that is crafted by either leatherworkers, tailors, blacksmithers, or even jewel crafters who can create the necks and the rings. And this base item is something that's entirely separate from the actual profession skill itself. And this is something we're going to talk about in just a second. Now, with that being said, other than that, these crafted base items are pretty much things that take, your normal leather ore or gems and stuff like that. So this is not something super complicated, but like I said, they're tied to a ranking system that's going to affect the item level and kind of how you approach the crafting entirely. Now, when it comes to the ranking system, like I said, it's not tied to the profession skill, so there can be a lot of max level leather workers, but there's not going to be everyone with high ranking leather bracers or leather leg guards. And what I mean by this is that each legendary item, whether it's leg guards, shoulders, head, or neck or cape, or whatever item you decide to craft, it's tied to its own XP bar. And this begins at rank 1 for every item that you have, but the more capes, or say more chest pieces that you make, the higher level your chest XP is going to be until you rank up. And at this new rank of legendary, you're able to craft a higher level base item. Now, you start at 190 right now, and at rank 2 you get to 210, rank 3 I believe is 225, and finally the last and highest rank you can achieve right now on a specific item is 235, and that's at rank 4. Now, this has a lot of implications, and what I mean by this is that because it's so resource intensive to craft even just one single legendary item, ranking up all these legendary items, especially at this early point in the game, is not going to be something feasible. So you're going to want to focus on a very specific one, ideally the one that's best for your class and best for your spec specifically, and kind of maximize all your resources and kind of funnel that into that specific item if you're looking to, maximize that item level. So essentially, I'm going to put a graphic below, but the breakdown of the XP for each kind of comes down to, I believe, like 20. You have to make 20 of the same legendary item to get to rank 2, and so on and so forth, with higher requirements and higher materials for each rank. And because of this, like I said, early game is not going to be something that you're going to rush rank 4 for every single legendary item, but focusing on one if you're looking to maximize your own equips and maximize your ability to basically sell these on the market is something that you want to keep in mind. And so that being said, ranking system is something that's going to be important. It's going to be something that you it's going to force you to pick and choose what you need and what you want to make. unless you just have heaps and heaps of gold. And even then, like to maximize that, there's going to be maybe other people on your server creating the capes at rank 4. So you're going to want to focus on a different item entirely if you want to sell it out to the market itself. So these are things you want to keep in mind as far as the rank system goes. And it's a little more complicated just because it's not necessarily tied to like the profession itself, but it has its own XP bar. But that pretty much sums up what you need to know about the ranking system itself. Now lastly, once you get these legendary base items, which is, like I said, crafted, you finally can bring it to the Runecarver himself, and there's not really much else that goes into it. You need to collect the memories, which is basically the legendary skill, and you need to infuse it together with these base items and 2 missives, and the missives are basically stat items made by inscriptors. And once you put all these together, you basically get your item that you get. Now, obviously, with the different ranks of legendary crafted items, you're going to want to keep that in mind. You're not necessarily going to lose out by using a rank 1 legendary item. You're just going to lose out on some item level and some stats, but you still have the legendary ability. So that's pretty much the most important part. And like I said, getting to rank 4 right now is not something that's going to be super important. It's going to be there for people who want to be min-maxing and, you know, try to reach the highest level item level they can and do the most damage or do the most healing and sustain the most damage if you're a tank. But like I said, the legendary skill itself is not tied to these ranks. You can have the same legendary skill on a rank 1 boot as you do on a rank 4 boot. The only difference being, like, you know, that disparity in stats. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Once you get through Runecarver and put all these items together, you're free to go and use the legendary, and you're only able to equip 1 for now. But like I said, if it's anything like Legion, we may have something where you're able to equip multiple at a time, and that'll be interesting to see. But until then, that's all you need to do. Finish the campaign up into Torghast, unlock the Runecarver, get your soul ash together, and if you're a crafter, obviously take into consideration the ranking system and what legendaries you want to craft. But if you're not, keep an eye out for these legendary items on your market. As more people make it, they're going to become more and more affordable, and even to the point where, you know, we're going to get to a point where rank 4 is going to be something that you can pick up and kind of enjoy. Alright guys, so that kind of wraps up everything I have to say about legendaries, and hopefully this clears up a lot of the confusion and helps you streamline your process so that you finally get there without much trouble. And that being said, we're still at an early stage of the game, so collecting these memories and getting all the perfect items together in the highest item level legendary is not necessarily something you need to do, but something that you want to keep in mind and at least understand, so that as the game progresses and as you get farther in the game, you're able to do so, you're able to progress the way you want, and kick some Shadowlands butt. So, if you guys could drop a like and a follow, we appreciate your support. Like I said, we're going to be making a lot more Shadowlands content as the weeks progress and as the expansion goes on, so keep an eye out for that and stay tuned. And of course, we stream 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so if you guys want to check out the action, ask any questions in person, and just kind of hang out and chill, you guys are more than welcome to do so. I'll leave a link to that down below. So yeah, without any further ado, we'll see you guys next time. Catch you later.